One question that I get asked all the time is, do bouldering and sport climbing grades actually translate? I'm here at Cova de L'Ocell in Catalonia, Spain, one of legendary pro climber Chris Sharma's local playgrounds. Here at the very same crag, I've got a couple of bouldering projects along with a sport climbing route that I've never tried before. On paper, these climbs have a very similar number grade and should be comparable, but let me tell you now, that's gonna be a different story. In reality, they test a completely different skill set. Power versus endurance, precision versus pacing, and when I tried the two, things got a little bit interesting. In this video, we'll break down the difference between bouldering and sport climbing grades, show you some different climbs in action, and talk about why these numbers can be misleading across disciplines. If you've ever wondered why your strength and skills don't always carry over, we're about to find out. Let's get on the wall. Oh. Welcome to the bouldering cave. Behind me we have Chris Sharma's Catalonia Witness the Fitness that starts all the way at the back of the cave and follows these striking features and perfect sandstone ledges all the way out through this horizontal roof. A while back I was actually doing all the moves and making promising links until I realized that one of the key footholds had broken off. But luckily I was able to link together one of the other variations in the cave called Independencia, opened by Beto Rocco Solano. This boulder starts on the right hand side of the cave and goes right away into some knee bar trickery before working your feet over and getting a sneaky little heel toe cam. This is all about body positioning, but we are about to enter the first crux, which is working with tiny little crimps and maintaining foot tension before jutting out to this jug, where we have the stand start version of Catalonia Witness the Fitness. That stand start gets an 8A or 8A plus. The next few moves are actually not that difficult, but we are on a horizontal rail. Those are half pad to full pad crimps and are doing a whole lot of tiring out those biceps. This is the crux move for all of the variations. I'm using Dave McLeod's method, walking my feet around, and then I found a way to get a toe jam into this jug and make the large move. I was never able to do the move like Chris Sharma. Here we've got a pretty good rest. You gotta be careful because it is sneaky and it will tire you out. From here on out, the boulder's about a 7A or 7A plus, but we can still drop it on these last two crimps, especially this one. Ooh, saved it, and luckily I got that top jug just by the hair of my fingers, and I was stoked. The game plan for this session is to try Au revoir. It's an 8A plus that was opened by Paul Roca. It starts where it says Cova de L'Ocell and traverses out left and finishes on a top jug up there. I think for me, one of the factors that's impossible to represent with grades when comparing bouldering versus sport climbing is the fear of falling and that mental factor. As you can see in a cave like this, the falls are perfect, the ground is level, I can reach all of the handholds with my feet on the ground, so I'm not really scared, I'm able to relax and feel calm. Whereas when I start sport climbing, I see a lot of air under me and I see my last bolt way below my feet and I start over gripping and get really tight and anxious. I don't want to give a whole lot away, but the route we're going to be trying tomorrow I think is really going to put me out of my comfort zone. Whoa. I put that rock under my pad so I could get a little bit higher up and try to do that move and get a little bit more established on the holds. And I almost took that in places that it shouldn't have gone. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to do that last move up to the jug today. Not to look for excuses, but that left-hand undercling is starting to get a little bit grimy with humidity. So while I've still got a little bit of strength left, I actually want to see if I can make a link or two from the first move. Before the pandemic, Lucy and I actually did quite a bit of sport climbing, and I do remember that we were often able to get away with climbing pretty difficult routes with not as prime conditions. For me personally, I think that I actually do better sport climbing with warmer temperatures. I find that when it gets too cold, my body just can't stay warm, and then my fingers get numb mid-route, and it's just a sufferfest. Whereas in bouldering, you really want those prime conditions, low temperatures, and a little bit of wind. Wow, I'm actually pretty surprised and happy with that link. The last session that I had, I wasn't able to do that first move. And today, able to work out of it. Cool. Here, starting holds. We've got a right hand, pretty good one. Left hand start hold. Here's a slanty jug. I'm using this as a Gaston. Then I match using this kind of gnarly little crimp. Left hand, right hand, pour feet. Left hand under cling, which you can grab as a thumb catch with a thumb catch for a pinch. Your choice of 2 crimps. I like this little triangle pizza shaped hold. And here's your top jug. From a physical standpoint, talking about brute finger strength, I know all of the individual moves on this 8A plus boulder are going to be harder than just about anything we're going to find on an 8A or 8A plus sport climbing route. But because we're still in the point of the process where I'm working individual moves and trying to isolate down my micro beta, I don't feel kind of like an overall fatigue throughout my body. Like, the larger muscles are still feeling fresh, the biceps are still feeling fresh, I don't have a lot of like pump in my forearms, and I feel like there is quite a bit of strength left in my fingers. Alex from the future here. Lucy and I are getting super close to our goal of 5,000 subscribers on this channel. If you're enjoying this video and haven't subscribed yet, consider joining our community. It's free and your support goes a long way to helping us make great content for you to enjoy. Now, back to the climbing. This traverse is Chris Sharma's Super Blood Wolf Moon opened at 8C. The full line starts here and finishes here. From where my pads are, we have a low end 8 or a double digit boulder that enters right into the crux section, and coming from these jugs and going all the way to the end comes around a 7C. This is the crux hold of the entire traverse. Gnarly little crimp and a terrible 2 or 3 finger slopey pocket to come out to this relatively good ledge.
We don't post those, a young man living out his dream, and then he goes home to pops having problems with his heart, and like he knows those moments that we got left are getting numbered. But he tells his son the world is in your hands, so you know he has to go pro. Make it a scene, give him what you believe. End of the day, you like me, not too far from the tree. And if you had a son and you would sit, you push.
I just realized that I can get a left foot here and do kind of like a compression with my toe pushing outwards and my right heel pulling inwards.
Happens when you shoot to the stars and the moon. What dreams we may see, what may come and may be. Living the life for me, don't let them get you off your speed. Where you trying?
Just talking about those really technical heel hooks, I think it's a skill that's pretty bouldering specific. Yeah, you can definitely find them on sport climbing routes, but in my experience, at least at the level that I'm climbing, they don't require the same amount of precision and detail and accuracy than they do on a boulder problem. If you're really creative with your beta and are able to find kind of sneaky heel hooks, you can use that as a workaround to make up for a little bit of lack of strength.
That I'm stuck with. Got some friends that hold me down for nothing. So we live out every dream we told each other on the bumpy roads. That's just what it comes with. Make it to the top with the ones that I came up with, just so we could cross out everything that's on the bucket. Trevor, that's my brother, different mother. Both our daddies flying in the sky somewhere above us. Still so much to see that's undiscovered. Hope I get to see before they call my number. What dreams we may see, may come and may be. Living the life for me, don't let them get you off your feet. Where you trying to go, when the stars out, time to glow. As we live there,
It's day 2 here at Cova de L'Ocell, and if you can't tell by our gear, we are going to be sport climbing. It's been at least a year since I've hopped on a rope, but luckily I'm here with mountain guide and my friend Alex Pastor. Alex is going to put me on this beautiful 7A slab that he's calling a warm-up. We just had a little not review session. Feel a little nervous. They wouldn't let me do it on top rope, but I am allowed to start with the first draw in so I don't eat ground. I'm already pumped. I thought I was gonna eat it here. Supposedly we're about to enter the crux of this slab. There's a jug to rest on after, so we're gonna try to go as fast as we can through that section before I can get scared.
Chapar aquí. Perfecto, Alex. Se está agarrando un agujero que es muy malo. Lo has hecho hiper duro, Hay agarres más fáciles.
I'm so pumped right now. I just botched that sequence like crazy. I got really scared there in the middle, and that's something that happens when I do routes. I just started grabbing any and every little piece of rock that I could and pulling as hard as I could, trying to just survive that little like crux section. I think if I were doing this on the ground, it'd probably be like a V3 boulder, like a 6A plus 6B boulder. But in that middle section, feeling pumped and like my leg was starting to tremble, it felt like I was doing like a move that was harder than anything you guys saw me doing yesterday. But luckily I was able to get through that crux section, kind of shake out, calm down, and then get to the anchors. As a side note, I actually don't remember how to build an anchor, so I went second in our group of 3. So the third climber, Ian, is able to clean the route after me. Este estilo de vía está realmente dentro de mi zona de confort porque es muy regletero y noto que cuando estoy en peligro puedo tronchar y sobrepasar como este momento de no estoy escalando muy bien y uso mi fuerza para...
El paso duro de la vía, o sea, lo has hecho muy duro, no has cogido lo que hay realmente bueno. No se hace así la vía.
It's time to hop on El Desentreno. It's an 8A sport route that climbs out this horizontal roof, working a lot with those heel and toe hooks, and unlike the slab that we just did, I don't think there's going to be any escape for resting and powering through moves where I'm getting scared on this one. No puedo respirar. They're trying to tell me that I'm gonna enjoy falling. I'm so high right now, and I feel like I'm just gonna like snap my cord and eat it. I actually surprised myself there. I thought I was only gonna get 1 or 2 draws out on the roof, and I actually got halfway out on the roof. I didn't feel too scared until I took my first rest, and that's when I started doubting like the strength of the rope, the strength of my harness. I'm looking at the kind of the air under me. And then I went another draw, and that's when I started feeling this like massive pump in my forearms. The crux of the route is doing the whole first part so efficiently to when you're going out of that lip, you have this like little boulder that I think would probably be V3, V4 at most, but I was so tired that my fingers wouldn't close at all. So I think the whole route is right there at that second to last draw. It's a heartbreaker. I'm gonna give the route another run, but on this run, I've been told that I'm only allowed to have up to 2 takes at most. I'm gonna try to see how far I can get. I'm gonna be forced to fall on this one. bad try, actually. Just kind of messed up my sequence there a little bit in the middle, but I feel a little bit more relaxed that go. I was actually pretty happy. I think I probably could have gone a little bit further out, but that's how it goes. We've wrapped up our day of sport climbing here at Cova de L'Ocell, and overall, I think it went a lot better than I had expected in my mind. I was thinking that I was going to be really scared the whole day and just not have a lot of fun, but it ended up being a pretty great time. Comparing the bouldering problems that we were trying yesterday with the sport climbing routes that we tried today, the amount of just raw finger strength that's needed to complete each one is completely different. Looking at that very first slab climb we did, that really was a boulder rest type of climb, and the hardest individual moves there I think would probably be like a V2-ish range, and I might even go as far as to saying as the individual crux move on the slab with my botch sequence felt much harder than the individual moves on the upper part of the 8A sport climbing route. On that slab climb, I was really well within my comfort zone. None of the clips were that difficult. All of the bolts were really close together, and I didn't really have too much of a fear of falling. On the other hand, I felt like I was getting pumped out of my mind on that first try on El Desentreno. Talking about that overall fatigue that we mentioned yesterday, today I really felt it, and I feel like just everything in my entire body is gone at this point. My forearms are tired, my shoulders are tired, my core is tired, and I don't think there would be any possible way to give a third try on that route. If you break apart the individual moves, I think throughout that entire route, you're really on kind of like V4 or V5 climbing. It's complete horizontal, and you do have to cover 5 or 6 different quick draws and then enter the crux sequence coming out of the lip, so it's incredibly physical. I was able to do all of the moves on my first run, which is pretty exciting, but I can't even just fathom putting all of those moves together and sending the entire route, at least with my current level of fitness. That would really require me to step back and work on building up a little bit of endurance training. Definitely drop me a thought in the comments with what you think about bouldering versus sport climbing, if it's something that benefits your overall climbing skills, and if you want to see me doing more sport climbing in the future. We'll see you guys in the next video.